I am recording once again the review, but this time it was that last map we did. Ottawa City. What was the last part of that map? Name of that map? Because I forgot. I just know it was Ottawa City.
I don't remember.
I'm going to say it's Ottawa City. Although it really wasn't Ottawa City. It sucked.
Bit, yeah.
It doesn't deserve to have its name come out. It sucked so bad. It was just a music promotion, and the music wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either.
Well, I actually kind of liked some of the songs in the beginning. Like I liked
The full song was, I think,
song.
the best one.
The first song was the best one, but it also helped that the place that they had it playing in was very creative.
Well, it made sense. The other one just had music playing.
The other two, yeah.
Yeah.
Although
the
third one was in a studio, but still, just wasn't as interesting.
No one likes the recording studio, and a recording studio would not. The room in which you're doing the recording would not have a window in it.
Well, not only that, it wouldn't have voices either.
In fact, there's a good chance you won't even have the entire band in the room in the first place. You'd have them each track individually and then mix them together as every single band ever does it.
And then also have the vocalist be on its own. So yeah, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. There's a lot of why.
It probably wouldn't have breakable glass either.
That too. But it's too wide open. There's way too many cars. There's a lot of broken physics cars.
There's a lot of alarmed cars.
Yeah, there's just a lot of problems with this. This person made a quick map. Didn't really take his time.
It really wasn't entertaining to play.
Yeah. It could have been done so much better.
The record store, I suppose, was a decent touch, but still, you having rap play during the record store portion. Rap and record stores do not technically mix.
Well, it's not just that. The records that are in there are all rock albums.
Either one of the other two songs would have worked here. Either one of them.
It was horrible altogether. It did have some idea of what it was doing, but the thing is, it felt like, okay, we're going through 3 straight finales. That's what it felt like. Which is fine. I mean, endurance is all good and all, because we have played maps like that. One, for instance, would be Unreal Tournament. We did that, and that was god-awful as well.
That was sort of like an endurance test gone wrong.
Yeah, at the very end. And then there's, of course, I can't remember the fucking name. Death Hour. Death
Hour.
Yeah, Death Hour. That was a huge endurance test. Where we took one part was like 8 fucking tanks. Let alone like hundreds of common infected and 30 or 40 different specials per person killing.
Hey, guess what?
What?
That map was a sequel.
There's a map that's what?
That map, Ottawa City or whatever, is a sequel.
Oh god.
What?
Does it? Why? It's a sequel to what?
Inns Road Rash.
We've played that.
Have we?
Yes.
But now we play.
And that wasn't good either, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, we did play that one.
It wasn't that
good
either. Yeah, we've played it. It was before Meta came in.
And I think before I was recording.
Yeah. It was early, and I never uploaded it. I don't believe. The only reason I didn't upload it was just terrible, and I think we had some problems with it anyway. Video-wise, for me, I just couldn't do it. Anyway, that's a different one. Back to this one. This map's bland. It's too fucking wide open. There's a lot of things that don't even need to be there.
Wait, the person who made this also made the Dark Tower map?
No.
No.
No,
I don't know. I'm trying to find this supposed prequel to this map that we just played.
Oh, no. He's right. He did make the Dark Tower map.
So we know he's good.
Yeah,
He's
he
very
just made
creative. We've
he's
done
made
the
one good map, but then again, let's see.
In's Road Rash was meh compared to this map, but
Yeah,
Gunslinger was the best.
Gunslinger was the best.
Gunslinger was pretty good.
Well, not only on top of that, he made a version of Gunslinger where it's just pistols only. That's the
Which-
hardcore version, which we still have yet to play. Just want to add that.
Yeah, but then again, we've
We've not played it yet.
We haven't
Yeah.
played that one yet, but that's
it's one of that
one
things.
It might be a thought. If we ever do a Christmas video, it might be a thought.
Oh,
Just-
that's not Christmas. That is torture.
Yeah, but the thing
Christmas is Russian Santa Claus time.
the thing is that I have the day off on Christmas Eve, so we could do that potentially. That's a true endurance test, but that's later on.
We're getting sidetracked.
Yeah, we're getting way sidetracked. Even though technically it's on the topic, it's way off this map. Let's get back to it. Let's do the fucking review. 5 stars max, 1 star minimum. Number of infected. Meta, what'd you think?
It didn't feel difficult at all. I feel like the infected. It feels like. I guess it's okay. It didn't feel like it really challenged us at all.
Right.
I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just because we're really good at what we do, or maybe I'm gonna have to give this half star, because the feel of being challenged by these infected was not there.
All right. Q?
Yeah, it wasn't feel terribly. I mean, there was the tanks, I suppose. But then the last one, the tank just kind of showed up.
I don't know.
Then I didn't know where he was for like 5 minutes. Was it 5 minutes? It was quite a while, and then he just shows up.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Teleported.
Yeah, he wasn't anywhere. I heard the tank music, and then the tank was nowhere, and then he was there. That was kind of, I'm like, I kind of didn't like that. I don't know, what the fuck did he spawn on the roof, you think?
It's possible.
I didn't even hear the tank music.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, no one could have heard the tank music over the music that was playing, Red.
I heard it, because I have the tank mod. It changes the music to something much, much louder.
Exactly.
But it's much, much more metal. But,
Mine was
yeah.
Borderlands.
Anyway, what do you give it?
It's half a star. It was it wasn't that challenging. It was it.
Okay. Dread?
I'll give it half a star too, because the infected were really underwhelming, especially since it was so easy to tunnel them.
Okay.
And the tanks weren't really that much of a bother, except for the one that spawned with all the cars. That was the only one that was probably an actual problem, because like when the last tank, I was able to just run away and then just snipe it to death.
Right.
Until Meta decided to charge at it.
Right.
Yep.
I'll give it a quarter. It goes with what you guys say. It just was very underwhelming. It didn't feel like there was hardly any difficulty to it. The only time I ever felt difficulty was really in the first part, with all the zombies being in that small room, which that is very good and it's well designed.
And it had all the specials because it spawned like 2 jockeys, 2 hunters, and 2 smokers.
It was more balanced in that it felt like, okay, we don't have a chance at points, and then we kind of strategize. Wait, we can go in here and we can funnel them in. Outside of that, everything else was just too wide open. That's a problem. Especially when it's just wide open spaces. When you have a tank and you throw them in a mix of cars, that's not just well placed, but at the same time, it's unfair to the player. As the
tank, alarm cars, I don't know if the tank can set off the alarms.
I don't think he can.
Something else, actually,
we don't
something
know
quick I noticed was that at, at the first part when I saw Boomer in the record store or the
Yeah.
whatever, when I killed it, I was far enough away where I shouldn't have been boomed, but then I got boomed.
Yeah, but I think that's the game. Anyways, there's a lot of reasons why the infected was very uninteresting at all. They could not bring us any.
It was way too damn open.
It was too open. Yeah, it's the major problem with this map is it's just too open and it's too bland. It needs more interesting things. Yeah, you had the spray paint of these pictures that you can find on DeviantArt or stuff, but that's not customization at all. It was nice with the record store. It was nice with the first area ending pretty much with the music. Those places were nice. They looked good. But other than that, there isn't much to say about anything about this map. It's so bland. It's so wide open. There's really nothing as a threat until we activate an event. Then it becomes a little tough. But after that, it's just a breeze. So yeah, there's that. Moving on. Length. We clocked this in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's 40 minutes.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. For a 3-part map, what do you think? Is 40 minutes perfect for this map? Meta?
I honestly think this map is a lot shorter than we make it out to than it seems.
Well, we did one restart, so.
Yeah, but even then, it's still a lot shorter. If only because, well, the only thing that makes it stretch out so long is its very open environment, which there's really nothing to.
Yeah.
And don't forget the music. That won't stop.
Oh yeah, the music plays a pivotal role in the length of each.
What each
segment.
song was averaged about 5-6 minutes apiece.
Which
except for the finale one, the finale lasted about 12. Because it played 2, didn't they?
I thought it was just I think it was just one song that just didn't fucking end.
Yeah, it repeated.
I couldn't tell because
I never noticed it, but
it sounded like it repeated.
I couldn't really even tell because I got smoked and the smoker pulled me out of the window and knocked me onto the ground level.
Yeah. Anyway, continue, Meta.
Anyway, even for 3 maps, I would say it's way too short. And for that, I'm going to give it half a star.
All right. Kyo?
Yeah, I agree. It's half a star.
Dread?
I'll give it half a star because some of the length that added on was that I accidentally messed up with the second part when I accidentally hit the generator, and we kind of took extra time trying to survive.
Well, yeah.
So I'll give it like half a star.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 0. The time does not fit for this map at all that we presented. It could be short. It felt like it was shorter. But a lot of the reason why I think the time is just kind of thrown out the window here is because it felt like each part of the map was a finale map. And finales can last up to 10 minutes apiece. And really, that's not clock management for a 3-part map. Because when most of your time is there, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're staying in one place for like 5 to 10 minutes at a time, and each song was about 5 to 10 minutes apiece. Not only that, just traveling to there is about 5 minutes. It makes no sense for the time. I mean, for a 3-part map, the maximum it should really go is maybe 30 minutes. No map should last that long, especially for a 3-parter. And this one, yeah, it felt like it can braze right through the whole entire thing in about 20 minutes. We had one restart. We also had a few fuck ups. Stuff that we were just trying to explore, hoping that okay, there might be a med pack over here. there's nothing going for it.
Well, something that added on to the time was that I actually found the spot where we were supposed to go at while you guys were exploring, and I just held up in there
Yeah.
at the end.
And it's just, the time just, to me, just, it didn't matter what we posted. It just didn't fit right. Moving on to difficulty. This one's, well, we kind of answered it already in the first one, but in the first rating, but it also has a little bit more to it. Meta, what'd you think about difficulty for this map?
Oh my god. Difficulty. I'd actually give this more because the tanks are supposed to be tougher.
Mm-hmm.
And they're supposed to be, and we felt like we were being bombarded with them. So, probably not as much as I think. But the point is, the tanks were there, and they were there to try and add difficulty. But in the end, it really didn't feel like they added difficulty at all. So for that, I think I'm going to give this half a star as well.
All right. Gil?
Oh, it lacked consistency, I kind of felt. It difficulty is also, I know, it's a bit of consistency,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just didn't have that on top of all the other problems it had. I'd only give it a quarter star. I mean, it sold it off. The first one was fairly difficult, but you figure it out and you move on.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, everything was more or less, there's things that's not done,
Mm-hmm.
and we move on. It just the first one gave us a bit of an expectation that didn't meet up to. I think
Yeah.
that's the problem there.
All right. Dread?
I'll give it only half a star because it's kind of like what Meta said. The only things that were actually challenging were the tanks.
All right. I'm going to give it a 0. A lot of it was it didn't feel like it was balanced. This goes to the zombies. Second thing was there isn't a whole lot of items anywhere. It's really way too spaced out to even go check it, where it could really affect difficulty at that point. Because you don't know if there's going to be a horde spawn at that point, and they can spawn anywhere.
Actually, you do kind of have a point there because at the beginning of the last part,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I was all the way back there was because I was seeing if there's anything there and I had to run all the way up.
Yeah, it's just that it has so much exploration areas, and there's no reward. Like, you don't see anything. It's the same thing you see around. And I understand that it happened in the core maps as well. But sometimes you go in this specific area, there might be a Molotov, there might be a bile, there might be a med kit, there might be pills, something like you can use.
If it was a normal map, yes.
Yeah, that's a normal map. In this one, there's so many wide open spaces and areas that you can go to that may not be the linear path that you need to go to get to the safe room, and there's no reward. There's just nothing there.
Unless it's a random spawn that could be nothing and we just got really, really fucking unlucky this entire time through.
Well, it's not there. And then when we run away, all of a sudden, horde spawn. And it's not like it's 100, like, maybe like 50 or 60 zombies. It's like 6. It just... The placements of the spawn areas, the amount of sheer room there is, does not help the difficulty at all. It makes it worse. It makes it too open to a point where you can kill the zombies really, really fast. You can even snipe them from a really short distance because of that. There's nothing blocking them.
Well, it's obvious that they really didn't care about anything but those 3 main segments.
He only cared about the music, really. It's what it was.
That's why I'm saying
this
that
map
the
had
3
nothing.
music segments is the only parts that were actually any decent.
Yeah. So overall, I just can't give it anything in terms of difficulty. It's a flat-out 0. There's nothing making me want to give it any kind of score, really, on that part. And moving on to theme, I think we can all agree that for what it's supposed to be, it's not really well themed.
It had a theme. I thought just play music and call it good.
I mean, given it says Ottawa City, and I'm sure that those songs came from Ottawa City or somewhat, because you don't just name a map Ottawa City unless you have something going for it. This is all about music. That's the only thing that comes anywhere close to theme.
The problem is when your theme is music and your game isn't a music game,
yeah,
you have failed, my friend. This is a zombie shooter, not Guitar Hero.
Yeah, I'm sure we all agree it's a flat out 0.
I would like to make a few comments.
You can make comments, but do you want to give it a rating? Is all I'm wondering.
I'll tell you my rating when I'm done. But honestly, yeah, I felt there was absolutely no creativity in this city whatsoever. It felt like it had, even if I wanted to say there was no ideas, I couldn't really say that. Because it wasn't completely bland, but it could definitely use a lot of creativity in some parts. But what would make it even more creative is if those segments were based on the songs that played in those segments.
Yeah.
Which would make it quite creative.
Yeah.
And in the end, it fails to accomplish that. And in the end, it really doesn't. It just feels overall bland. So, yeah. What you said, I'm going to go with a 0.
Do you, Keo and Dread, do you agree with 0?
Yeah, it was boring. There was nothing. It looked like it was a nasty day, a day you wouldn't want to be outside for.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in a fucking toy box. I looked up and I saw the you know how you saw the cityscape on the background of the last map. Mm-hmm. I looked up a little bit and I saw the edge. I'm like, oh shit, we're in a toy box. Well, I don't remember still loading up toy soldiers, but apparently I fucking did.
Yeah.
And this brings us to recommendations. I don't think any of us can recommend this.
I definitely don't recommend this as it is.
This is double negatives here.
Just to be sure, Dread, do you not recommend this? What?
Nah. The music was okay, but it's not enough to recommend this because it was nothing.
There's a lot
nothing
of
was happening.
It has a nice.
Forgettable.
Yeah, it's forgettable. It's a novelty, but it's a forgettable one. The record store is a novelty, again forgettable. The only thing that I can say is memorable is probably the first part with the concert. That one was probably the most creative thing out of this whole entire map.
In fact, this map would have been so much better if it was a survival map set only in that first area.
Yeah, that place is very well designed. And if you could stay with that throughout the entire map, it would be better. Other than that, no, this map is just flat out boring.
You know, lose everything, leave that first area, and just turn it into a survival map, and you'll be good.
Yeah. So with that, we'll tally up the scores. Meta, you gave it 1.5 stars.
Yes.
Same with Dread. Keo, you gave it 1 1/4, and I gave it 1/4 of a star. That's it. I think that's the second lowest I've ever given on any map. And from the creator of someone who made Dark Tower, which is very enjoyable, very well done map, I expected a whole lot more for this.
In fact, I would fully recommend playing Dark Tower as well. Dark Tower.
Mm-hmm. Dark Tower is just so much more enjoyable than this map could ever be. And for the creator, I know you have the ability to make good maps, but you really need to work on this one. This one is so boring.
I don't know how salvageable this map is.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to salvage it.
I mean, even the last one you did that was based around featuring music. Actually, it was better than this one. I don't really remember it, but I believe it was better.
Yeah, I understand the creator. He has done some good work, but their only good work is going back to Gunslinger, and the only reason that was great was I really enjoyed a lot of it. It was so creative, though long. And
Cowboys.
in the very end, which was fucking hilarious, you write it on the fucking book as the finale, and I thought that was hilarious. And yet I was the sole survivor on that day.
It's because when it showed up, we had no fucking clue where it was.
Yeah, well, that didn't help, and we mentioned that in the review. And that's one of our earlier reviews, if you haven't seen it yet. But this map, if you made that and that's a really good map, I expect more with his newer maps, because he set himself a standard. And when you bring out this one's more recent. Compared to that, this map
We are
just fucking,
disappointed.
it's very disappointing.
App creator, you disappoint.
I mean,
And
I've
all the
known,
Rock Cities newer, it looks like, than Dog Tower.
yeah, and you could have done so much more. I mean, especially with the songs you had, you could have made the maps go to them, like Meta said. You could have made this a survival map, like Kyo said, and just put the music in it, which would have been a whole lot better. There's just a lot of problems with this. The fact that you have way too many cars in the way. I understand it's in the city.
Actually, something quick that he could have done is like during the parts, make it like a trail kind of thing, and have the music play while we make it from one point to another.
Yeah.
I could totally see this being a good survival map.
Yeah.
You just add more locations within the single map, and boom, there you go.
Yeah. I'm not. If you were gonna do a survival, I'm not expecting anything like Helm's Deep, awesome. But you could have made this a decent map for survival. It would have worked much better than giving it as a campaign. As a campaign, it just flat out is boring, sucks to a point where I don't see anybody liking it. The music, it's a novelty, but it's forgettable. I mean, hey, it might be something that those songs might be something you like. Doesn't mean everybody else is gonna like them. Me, I'm not a person that likes rap, but that rap song was tolerable. But again, it wasn't well placed. In fact, the only song that was really well placed was in the first one. So work around with this. Hopefully, if you can salvage this, great for you. But you need to do a lot of more work than what you gave us. Gunslinger was just, you set it yourself a standard. It hit hard. It was one of the best maps you ever did, to a point where you remade it and made it pistols only. So try to keep in with that standard if you can. Otherwise, don't release a map that's just so bland. Anyways, Meta, if you want to say your thing.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy listening to us, or if you just want to help us be better at what we do. Just leave a comment.
Or give us advice, or
give us advice.
Talk to us.
Yeah, there could be anything. We thrive on feedback, so feedback.
You need to know people are actually watching these, and not just seeing the views on the videos.
Speaking of which, Dred's pointed out with the views, to anybody who has ever decided to send me a link to another site that is against YouTube's policy, I don't like anything. That I got sent a message from this one person, don't know who, but apparently they sent me a message saying something about my views and why one of my videos is very incredible, which it was a review video, and all I did was have one picture, which is our title card, with audio in the background. That's it. And that person said it was incredible, and that I should have more views. But they linked me to they were going to give me a link to becomeviral.com. Now, look, I don't care about those messages. I don't want those messages. So if you do watch my videos, and yes, I understand it's our videos, but I'm the one posting them, I'll get the feedback, mostly. And when I get a note or a message like that, you have to realize I am not going to give a single fuck about you. I'm going to block you. I'm going to delete your message, and hopefully tell everybody. Hopefully I'll make sure to tell everybody else about it in this group. I don't like it. I consider it spam. Just don't do it. It's stupid. I don't see the point, and it's against YouTube's policy. You're not supposed to do that because you're sending bots to watch my video, and that's not helping. So anyway, other than that, just hope you enjoy the videos, and that's the end of our double map night. Cool. So anyways, see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed.